Why can't an Igbo man become president? Yoruba man, Hausa man, Ijaw man has become president. Why can't an Igbo man become president? At least in this country, after the Civil War, there was a consensus of some sort by the two political parties. And Igbo men were both running mates in the 79 elections. Why can't we go one step further?
Let's now head to Abia State now, where activist Omoyele Sowore joined a mass protest in Aba dubbed the 1 Million Man March as demonstrators took to the streets demanding the unconditional release of detained IPOP leader Nnamdi Kanu. Addressing a large and enthusiastic crowd on Wednesday, Sowore called on President Tinubu to free Nnamdi Kanu, arguing that his continued detention is political persecution for refusing to abandon the Biafran self-determination struggle. He also criticized the heavy military presence in Aba, asking why those same soldiers could not be deployed to Zamfara to tackle terrorism. Let's take a look.
Omoyele Sowore, and I'm a friend of Nnamdi Kanu. I'm also a friend and lover of justice, and I came here today against all odds to come and ask that Tinubu must free Nnamdi Kanu. Tinubu has no option than to free Nnamdi Kanu. We warned them when they got Justice Omotosho to send Nnamdi Kanu to jail that he can never stand. And they have now understood, but they have not learned their lessons yet. We are not here to make long speeches. I came here to identify with all of you in Aba and all over Nigeria and all over the world that until Oyendu come home, we are not stopping.
We're talking about Omoyele's red carpet for chiefs. But Rufai, Nnamdi Kanu has been in detention since 2021, and the calls for his release have never stopped, from courtrooms to street protests. The solution, many believe, is not legal. It is political. President Tinubu has the power to initiate dialogue to pursue a resolution. But will he do so? Those are the questions, and I don't know the effect of this 1 million man march at this moment. Rufai.
I'll just spot on the analysis of what people are saying. The solution is largely political. So there is one part of the permutation, and please, it's a permutation. It's an opinion by some people. It's not based on any facts. It's not empirical. That President Tinubu might try to use this Nnamdi Kanu case, to play a political game leading up to the election, which might be his final strategy leading up to the elections. It's not based on facts, it's an opinion. Some people have even said, hopefully, that maybe we release him close to the election. Because when you look at it, see, in as much as we condemn the methods at which it was done, let us not forget the fact that there is marginalization against the Igbos, yes, against other ethnic groups in this country, but there's high marginalization against the Igbos. I mean, take for instance, I think we make this argument when we're there. Since we've returned to democracy, why can't an Igbo man become president? Yoruba man, Hausa man, Ijaw man has become president. Why can't an Igbo man become president? At least in this country, after the Civil War, there was a consensus of some sort by the two political parties. And Igbo men were both running mates in the 79 elections. Why can't we go one step further? That's just the question. I know some people argue and say, oh, competence should not be based on zoning and all of that. I get the argument. But are you telling me that there is no Igbo man that is competent enough to be president?
All right. I
mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. but there's a consensus that the reason why we had 2 Yoruba men on the ballots in 1998-1999 elections was a way to compensate the Yoruba people for what had happened to MKO Abiola. Can we also be intentional? Because I feel to a large extent, even if it's just 1 term or 2 terms, an Igbo person, becomes president in this country, and I must have to add, power is not served a la carte. The person must work for it. it will shift a lot of the narrative. I mean, when people say, oh, we have been marginalized and all of that, we cannot say, an Igbo man has become president now. But as it is today, to make that argument is not buoyant enough. And these are part of the things Nnamdi Kanu is talking about and the agitation. At some point, it was Ralph Wazirike. That marginalization argument still gains traction. Today is Nnamdi Kanu. Tomorrow, another person can pick it up from that region.
All right.
So let's just all be careful. And President Tinubu, let's see how we can do this politically.
So you're up for a political solution?
It's a political solution.
Well,
since the days of Buhari, they went to meet Buhari. Them Wazirike, Amici, and other people went to meet Buhari then. Some Igbo leaders. I don't know why that conversation never sailed through.
All right. I'm sure that we're not going to hear the end of this Nnamdi Kanu protest and the quest and the call for him to be released. And of course, we'll bring the story up on Arise News.
Nigeria has no name. Nigeria means nothing in Igbo language. It doesn't mean anything in Ibibio language. It means nothing in Ijo language. It means nothing in Efik. It means nothing in Urobo. It means nothing in Ishekiri. It means nothing in Edo. It means nothing in Yoruba. It means nothing in Hausa. It means nothing in Tiv language. It means nothing. Nigeria is a name given to people in Africa by a European man. It is not your name. Can anybody tell us who formed Hausa? Can anybody tell us who formed Yoruba? Can anybody tell us who formed Fulani? They grew as a result of an organic process. When man tampers with the work of God, the nonsense happening in the zoo is what you receive.
Lekwa Nigeria madosa ya Chineke nnade ngosi onye ọbụla na-ekpe ekpere ka Nigeria wee wuru ofu nna nke bridge ndị dị etu a wee laa ha n'iyi Chineke nna kiwe biko da kiwe kpọọ ha ọkụ kpee ezinụlọ ha ọkụ ka ha ra agbanyeghị ndị ha bụ ọbụladị ndị ụkọchukwu onye ọbụla mehụrụ ọnụ ma kulie wee sị na ọ ga-adịrị Nigeria na mma ọ ga-adịrị onye ahụ na mma na ezinụlọ